investigating that piece?
Yes, there were recommendations related to training, both with respect to weather forecasting, meteorology, and also with bridge resource management and other aspects that were highlighted here.
Okay. Obviously, we are not going to be able to question any of the personnel that were on the ship, but it appears that there were mistakes made in the operation of the ship, perhaps both from shore as well as from the ship itself while at sea. Does the NTSB or the Coast Guard have any concerns about the adequacy of training of the personnel that are on the American ships that are currently on the oceans? Do we have any recommendations for upgrade, for continuing classification, and for review of the of their ability to properly conduct the ship?
Excuse me, the NTSB has recommendations related to training and bridge resource management, both recurrent training as well as initial training for things like heavy weather, for advanced meteorology, for deck crews. So that aspect of training has also been included in their assessment, in our investigation.
My final point is that the ability and capability of the men and women in charge of running the ship has to be continually observed and with a high level of assurance that they are competent and capable. And in the NTSB report, among your 53 recommendations, there are several that speak to that issue. And I would expect that in the responses, both from the ship owner as well as from the Coast Guard, that this will be an issue that will be taken up in the responses. My concern goes beyond this particular company and the men and women that are hired to operate the ships for this company, but rather to the entire U.S. fleet and the adequacy of the training, the capability of the men and women that are responsible. So I'd like the Coast Guard to also pick that up when it pick up that issue beyond just this one company. Okay. With that, I'll yield back and thank you.
Thank the ranking member. You know, just in closing, you had two Navy ships crash last year, and it wasn't any mechanical anything. It was they took away the last couple of years. They took away surface warfare officer training. It became on-the-job training with the DVD. Used to be a 6-month school up until, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. They got rid of it. Training saves a lot of lives, right? So and looking through everything, it looks like this was poor decision making that exacerbated physical problems with the ship, and I think that's what we take out of this, and we'll keep drilling down. And if we could get those matrices of the ships, right, that you're looking at, so we can kind of see what's out there right now, and then the recommendations and what's actually been accomplished with those 52, the commandant said, let's go with it. 2 out of the 3, the admin recommendations, he said, let's go with it. We'd like to see what actions you're taking that match those recommendations. And I think June 1st, is that too long?